All right. Okay. I think we are live. Let me just check. Give me a moment, please. Yes, and we are live. Okay. Well. Okay. Great. So, doesn't seem like anyone's watching it right now, but that's okay. Take all the time. We can take all the time you need. So, Mr. Incredible versus Metroman.
Yes. Here we
that,
go.
that's a great start. Absolutely phenomenal. Um.
So,
So we're going to be running through a few categories that I have written down here. All right, so just to sum it up for anyone who's joining in, we're doing strength, speed, durability, IQ, and battle IQ. Take a short break to talk about fans and channel updates and
mhm,
all that stuff. Continue with skill, combat, weapons. Probably going to skip weapons because they have no weapons.
it's not a category. It doesn't exist.
Although Mr. Incredible does have the weapon of being based. Um,
Yes.
Experience, attack potency, destructive capability, and then hacks, which for my personal definition is like the counters the character has. And we determine a winner.
Didn't I give you that definition?
Yes, you did. I think I might have twisted a little bit though, because we have different opinions on the hacks.
Yeah.
But let's lead out with strength. Just like that. There we go. All right, and here's the presentation I made. So I
Nice.
found this scan on this versus battle wiki, which apparently buffs Metroman's strength.
Okay.
And if you look at the bottom, this is when Megamind, when Megamind like flipped a giant robot in the Button of Doom.
Yes.
Yes, this is
The real Mega Mind too.
yeah. um, the one that actually has better writing. Um,
Yeah. Anyway, so for the giant, wasn't that giant robot that he made to fight Metroman?
yeah, the one that he never used for some reason. We don't know why he didn't use it, but we don't have to worry about that because he was wearing a suit that matches Metroman's strength. He would have very little reason to make a suit that's weaker than Metroman.
Yes.
Other than his super speed, I'm not really sure how we replicate that. So as you can see on the bottom, it was calculated to the force of 100 million ton forces.
Nice. Okay.
Sorry, pardon me. Just been drinking some coke. um, that's essentially about lifting up about 25 billion elephants, I think, something like that.
Okay.
And when we move to the next slide, we have the calculated weight for the Omnidroid on the top.
Yeah. So basically, it's heavier.
Yeah, it's surprisingly because of the density it's composed of. And it was calculated to weigh 1.9 billion kilograms. And via my calculations, with the already calculated speed, like dividing that by 0.37 because that's how fast the will be outputting a force of a trillion newtons.
Yeah. Bloody hell. Okay. Yep.
This, if
And he also
I
caught it as it slammed down. So that means he's like not only lifting it, but he's also absorbing and withstanding the entire weight and the mass that the
yeah
Omnidrive would have created slamming down.
yeah, so it's like 1.178 trillion, something like that. And if you'll let me convert it in a calculator here, that would be about 120 million ton forces. And or am I reading that wrong? So it was something like a couple 100 million ton forces. Point is more than Metroman's lifting strength.
More than Metroman, yeah.
Yeah, and
So that
you
means he
can
has with this scan, he has city block level durability and strength.
basic. But surprisingly, that doesn't actually match Metroman's one from the feat that we just looked at. It was calculated as 615 tons of TNT or something like that.
Yeah.
Um. Oh yeah, and also you can actually add like down players or upscales for both feats. So if you want to ask me like which version I think is higher, which feat I think is higher, there's no point telling you because it doesn't really affect much.
No, that's right.
No, what really matters here is durability and attack potency. But guess what? We're not there yet.
No.
So, yeah, I think we covered about everything. We're talking about strength, but we're talking about lifting strength, not like striking strength or attack potency.
Also, Mr. Incredible did. There is a newspaper in his room where it says that he lifted and carried a submarine out of a typhoon.
Yeah, like submarines can weigh like 20,000 tons or something like that.
And the fact that he had resistance with a typhoon as well.
Yeah, I definitely think that's more impressive than Titan's building feat.
Because Titan only had gravity, but
yeah, a typhoon is a lot stronger than gravity.
Yes.
And also something I wanted to say, real bummer to a lot of the Metroman fans, no, Titan is not that much weaker than Metroman. If you let Multi explain, because he's the one who pointed it out in the first place.
Basically, so a lot of people like to say that, Titan is like 1% of Metroman's DNA because he only has one piece of dandruff. To all the geniuses out there that actually think this, let me explain. So that's not how DNA cloning actually works. This is gonna be a bit ugly, but when humans procreate, there's a sperm cell that enters the egg. I mean, sperm cell is smaller than a piece of dandruff, believe it or not. So does that mean your dad is 10 million times stronger than you?
Yeah, exactly.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah. And something else I want to add is that I don't think Titan could scale to Metroman's super speed feat because he hasn't trained with his powers enough to actually match that speed.
And the thing is that Megamind wanted an exact copy of Metroman.
Yes, because he wanted he wanted to lose. He likes losing, apparently.
He's a masochist. There is no reason as to why he would make Titan weaker.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, the whole point of that scene was he wanted a superhero who could challenge him. So why would he make someone who was weaker?
Yes.
All right. So I think we covered about everything we need about strength. Yep. Let's cover speed next.
Oh, here we go. This is gonna upset a lot of the Metroman fans.
Yes. Well, for all the Metroman fans out there, to comfort you a little bit, Metroman does have the edge of travel speed.
Yes, obviously. Even I can admit that.
Yeah, you're like the biggest Mr. Incredible fan I've ever met. So
even I can admit that he obviously does have fast travel speed because Mr. Incredible was like superhuman.
Yeah, he's like subsonic at best, and that's highballing it. Now there were multiple calculations for this feat. Some of them being like relativistic, hypersonic, massively faster than light. But for all the geniuses who say massively faster than light, keep in mind he lived his life within around a frame. So no, he did not stop time because we literally see a frame of the camera footage in the the big crowd scene where like Megamind's like addressing the crowd.
Yeah, and you see the blip, but boop. Yeah, that's
Metroman looks behind them and like, yeah. So he did not move faster than time. Sorry, I think the massively hypersonic end would be the most reliable end for this feat in particular.
Also, the other thing about Metroman's speed is that people say he stopped time because people were staying still. When the Flash has done the time stop, I say in quotes, at Mach 1.
Yeah, exactly. So
he was just slowing his point of view down. He wasn't slowing down time. He was just slowing his point of view down.
Exactly, absolutely. Also, J.M. Spathol's made a calculation of it, but he just kind of assumed that the increase between Metroman's regular speed and his top speed was Titan's sonic boom breaking. He just kind of assumed that. He didn't really give any reasons as to why he used it.
No.
So that calculation doesn't work either.
No, and
And another thing to point out, They say massively faster than light because his colors were changing, but I think that was just a really cool effect. That's just to show that he's moving fast.
His cut. Oh no, that's and also during that same scene that they're referring to, um, when he opens the observatory doors, guess what falls at his feet?
What?
Light.
Yeah.
A beam
Light
of
still-
light. Literally, light can still move while he's in super speed, so he's not faster than light.
Yes. Oh, by the way, that laser shot going down to Earth, I
We're still
calculated
moving.
that. Yeah, and if I highball that, that would be about 10% the speed of light. But that doesn't matter when we consider Mr. Incredible's reaction speeds.
Yes.
Yes, if we look at this scene here, Bob dodges Jack's lasers.
And that's point blank, by the way.
Yeah, like you can literally see the frame. It's not like a Megamind situation. People claim Megamind can dodge lasers for some reason, even though
it was aiming at his feet, and it wasn't.
The only reliable light dodging feat from the Megamind movie comes from Megamind being shot out of the ejector seat, not him actually reacting to it. And I don't really see how an ejector seat could sail anywhere, so it's fodder. So if you can see here, read the calculation for your.
Yep.
Yeah, that would be moving around 1.4 times the speed of light.
Also, not the fact that it was point blank as well is like impressive as hell, because Jack was, and also that it was a random. It wasn't like he was expecting it as well.
Yeah.
He reacted to it like straight up.
No, so many things are happening at the same time. And even if you don't want to include that, there was also a scene in which a raccoon dodged a beam of light, and I'm pretty sure Mr. Incredible's faster than a raccoon.
Yeah.
All right, so as you can see, Metroman takes travel speed, Mr. Incredible takes combat reactions.
Yes.
It means he'll be fast enough to grab Metroman before he can punch him. Which leads us on to durability. Yeah, also another thing I wanted to mention, Dash in the comics could run at 100 times the speed of light. I'm not sure if that's 100% reliable, because I genuinely don't use like tie-in comics unless like
also the fact that Dash blitzed Mr. Incredible's reaction speed.
Yeah, that's true. So I do use tie-in comics. At this time I'm really sure if the comics were canon or not. That's what I meant to say about that.
Yeah.
So
I don't think the comics are canon. I don't think they are.
Yeah. Okay.
But
sorry. Having a sip of Coke.
Yep.
Moving on here to durability. Sorry for the very low quality image, but if you look very close, this is Hypershock. Hypershock was one of the superheroes who was killed by Syndrome Omnidroids. And if you look closely, you can see that his fist magnetism with his his greatest magnetism with his hammers is a 6.0 earthquake, which, if let's find here, can kilotons to 294 megatons of TNT.
So what's the difference between the two? Just how much?
Yeah, I think that's like 294 megatons, like the total energy. It's a bit confusing, but it doesn't really matter, because compared to Metroman's feats is only like city block level. I don't think I remember to take a screenshot of it. No, I didn't. Okay, sorry, my bad. But like there was a calculation. Oh no, sorry, it was early in the video. See, like back in the first frame, see 615 tons of TNT. It doesn't really matter what end you use. Mr. Incredible is scaling high here. And there is this one really stupid highball that people are using for Metroman. Do you remember that big orbital laser that quote unquote killed him?
Yes.
Apparently it was the quote unquote fully focused energy of the sun.
First of all,
Metroman didn't survive it. I just want to say he flew out before the
Yep.
Like, are you guys just not paying attention?
And that's one thing. I love how people say, "Have you seen the movie?" when they literally make shit up. that wasn't even in the movie. Like, have you seen the movie? Yes, I have, but you clearly haven't.
Oh. Yeah, so you might glitch out there.
No, sorry, man. No, as I was saying, it's like people say, "Oh, have you seen the movie?" I have. You clearly haven't because you're making stuff up.
Yes, and another thing I wanted to point out, if it actually was as powerful as the sun, it would literally go straight through the planet.
Yeah, and it probably would have, destroyed the entire city. But it only caused
Like a small amount.
building level damage.
It was capped to 2.25 megatons, but even then, you can just use the highball of Mr. Incredible's feet.
And he does scale above Hypershock,
Yes,
who's able to withstand.
He has to be in the center of the earthquake. Also, keep in mind, Hypershock died to the Mark IV Omnidroid, while Mr. Incredible beat the Mark VIII while at his lowest point.
Yes, and he was able to survive strikes and able to stun the Omnidroid. Now, given how durability equals strike and strength, the Omnidroid. Strike and strength equates to durability.
Yeah.
The Omnidroid Omnidroid V8 should realistically be mountain level with strike and strength.
Yeah.
And Mr. Incredible survived as a clear, stabbing strike from the Omnidroid, automatically giving him mountain level durability.
Yes, and also, even if you want to argue, but that's piercing durability, it's not actually like blunt durability. I do want to point out
he did survive blunt durability as well because he got smashed into a tree by the Omnidroid.
Exactly, and also the Mark X Omnidroid literally slammed his entire body down onto him, and he was fine.
Mm-hmm.
And also another highball you want to give, the Mark X Omnidroid survived its crash, which came up to 9.6 gigatons, so 292 gigatons. So keep in mind, a mega is a million and a giga is a billion for anyone who doesn't know the difference between the two. Now, this can be a highball as well because it probably would have destroyed the whole city if it did land, but that's because it didn't have a random statement. It was actually a feat that was calculated.
And you actually see that it ripped. If you actually see the bird's eye view of the news station during the Omnidroid, you can actually see that it made a
gigantic hole in the city.
Like a gigantic hole through the earth.
Yeah.
And basically smashing through the street.
Yeah, basically. Once again, even if you don't want to use this, Mr. Incredible still scales higher due to the Hypershock scaling we mentioned earlier. And also, I know I'm going to people say that, well, that's just a statement. It's from an info file. An info file is explicitly meant to be the character's power and abilities to full accuracy.
And it's from the NSA.
Yeah.
The National Super Agency, who are literally like the shield of the Incredibles universe. And I don't think they'd lie about that.
Yeah, I don't see why they'd have any reason to lie whatsoever. Plus, it's still pretty consistent with the Omnidroid landing feat, which lowballed was calculated to a similar range of 98 kilotons. So, yeah, there's still that.
Also, if anyone's in doubt, the files are canon. They're not made up stuff. They're in the actual Incredibles lore.
So, could you say that again, please? You glitched out there.
If people say that those files are fake, they're not. They are actually in the official Incredibles special features, and they are the same files that Syndrome used.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, my point. Oh boy, is there anything else that we wanted to mention with durability? Sorry, don't think so. I think. Oh yes, actually, another thing I wanted to mention about Megamind's statement of the sun feat. This is a parody of old 60s comics in which people would state outlandish things like, "Oh, I'm punching you with the force of 100 galaxies exploding," but it
doesn't do that.
Yeah.
So another thing I like to mention. Another thing I like to mention with the thing, it's actually plasma.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. The sun is mostly composed of plasma, and it's emitting light.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I accidentally started playing my live stream on my own iPad. um,
And if you want to, and if you really, really want to highball it, you could say that it may have created a supernova or no, a solar eclipse. But even then, that's not really saying much.
no, it's just kind of it just doesn't work.
No.
Plus, also there's some even if you want to hyper like multi-continental with like you know how the sun generates like several hundred trillion tons of TNT every second.
Yes.
I guess maybe you could argue that, which is unreasonable because the sun is millions of miles away. I don't think Megamind is firing a solar flare at the city.
Also, people saying that it was the sun. It wasn't the sun. It was just charged by the sun. By the
Yes,
way, because Nina's minions say, "Oh,
planets.
it's warming up, sir." It
Um,
also does that mean your house is the power of the sun
yeah,
if you use
yeah.
solar
Does that mean
panels?
my house? Yeah, exactly. Perfect, perfect. I was going to say, oh yes, you can technically argue some large planetary things for Mister Incredible with this one profile, the Universal Man, I believe. It stated he could create a black hole. I mean, even mini black holes can scale to like large planet levels, and Mister Incredible stated to be a bit more dangerous. All right, so that's all we need from the slideshow because, at least for now, because all the other things that we are going to be talking about is things that don't really need images. So we can just go back to this. There we are.
Perfect.
Nice, lovely, beautiful. All right, so what was the next? Oh yes, IQ and battle IQ.
Easily
This
goes
one,
Mr. Incredible, no doubt. That's not even a
this one is
debate.
easy. I don't get why people think Metroman is smarter. Like he tricked Megamind, yes, but he stated that he had to think about out the plan amongst the course of several hours, while Mr. Incredible can come up with pretty similar plans on the fly.
Like when he easily infiltrated Syndrome's base.
Yeah, or like when he caught Syndrome monologuing.
Yeah, and he actually did that on purpose.
Yes. So far, it seems, and also battle IQ is obvious. There's no debate on this. Medfran's whole strategy is just punch it until it's gone. That's all we've seen.
And with Mr. Incredible, he was able to figure out the Omnidroid's weakness was itself, and he was basically the lead tactician during the Omnidroid's fight, like
Yes.
telling Helen to destroy the turret, or telling Helen to
Fire the
remote.
Yeah, the remote with the weird claw thing attached to it, that kind of thing. So yeah, as you can see, Mr. Incredible is definitely smarter. There's no debating that, I'm afraid.
Also,
Sorry.
Mr. Incredible hacked into Syndrome's computer. Yes, he had the password, but he was able to figure that out to decipher those two things.
Yes. All right, we're gonna probably take a little bit of a short break. Is there any updates you want to say for your channel, or are you good?
Updates. Well, I'm on my full out arc, as you can see from the image.
Yeah.
I'm nearly at 4,000 subscribers.
Yes. I'm very happy for you there.
Thanks, man. Which is cool. You've recently reached 200.
Yeah, which was awesome. I'm very grateful for that. Thank you so much to everyone watching. For me personally, sorry, is there any other news you want to give?
Not really. I'm good.
Yeah, okay. Well, the news I want to give is about the open collab. I know no one's currently watching right now, but I don't really care. My point is, if you are just doing the open collab and you make a really simple edit, I do not care. The winner is not based on quality; it is based on a random scale that I'm using. So no, wheel that I'm using.
Cool.
Yeah, so if you have a bad edit, don't sweat it. If you took the time out of your life to make a video essentially for me, I will be eternally grateful.
So it's not up to skill, basically. It's just random.
Yeah. Just basically, do your best. That's all I ask for. Do your best.
Cool. Anything else?
Yeah.
You
got? Okay, cool. Let's continue with skill and combat.
This one's pretty obvious.
Another pretty
I don't
obvious
think we
one.
need to really discuss this one.
Yeah.
Mr.
Gone to the time.
Incredible. There actually is. I know this isn't really scaling, but there are theories that the superheroes in the Incredible Universe are military trained.
Yeah, but even then, you don't even need theories because Mr. Incredible actually is a tactician. He's smart. He thinks on his feet. He fights people stronger than him all the time, like the Omni Droid. He also fought Brick, who is like at least comparable in strength with him.
Yeah, and
And
basically he stomps everyone in a fight besides Syndrome.
Yes, essentially. And also, even then, he used like some combat. He still used some combat skills, and Syndrome only won due to his 0-point energy.
And Metroman has absolutely no combat skill feats at all.
He's
like none.
literally featless in the categories. He has no feats of skill or combat. His only strategy, like I said, is punch it until it dies.
There's no. I guess you could say one of his skills is juggling.
Yeah. In skills in general, the only real thing Metroman does is some minor manipulation.
Mm.
But that's basically the only skill he has over Mr. Incredible. Next up was weapons. We're not going to bother with that because we both already know.
Yeah.
In terms of
category.
Yeah, the only real weapon, like we said, Mr. Incredible has is he's based. I guess we could cover it like abilities. We'll just like change it to abilities or something like that.
Metroman gets this. I'm not even afraid. He basically has all the basic abilities of Superman. He has super speed. He has super durability, super strength, laser eyes.
Sights like super sightseeing. I don't know how to call it. Like supervision.
Like supervision. He probably has X-ray vision.
Although Mr. Incredible does have one thing that actually doesn't. Also, I don't think he has X-ray vision because you can see Megamind in the observatory, but that's his danger sense. Mr. Incredible has a spider sense, essentially.
That's spider sense. But again, Metroman does like class him in abilities because Metroman basically has Superman abilities.
Also, he can fly, which gives him good control over the battlefield.
Yes.
Next up, we have experience.
Mr. Incredible, no doubt.
Yeah, I know it seems obvious to say, oh, Mr. Incredible easily. But honestly, I think I'd say they're equal. Metroman has had a lot easier time.
I wouldn't really say that.
Like, remember, Mr. Incredible, he was about 25 when he went into hiding. And throughout those 15 years, he never really did much other than some like minor police scanner business.
But then Mr. Incredible actually has, if we do use a tie-in comics, even in the movie, there are villains. Mr. Incredible has fought more villains.
Yeah, he's also for a wider variety of villains. Metroman, however, has basically been using his powers all of his life. And they're both equal in terms of age, like both being around 40.
Yeah. Also, Metroman has only fought Megamind.
Yes, he's only fought the same kind of villain over and over and over.
No, the Doom Syndicate don't exist because the second movie is not canon. I'm not canon.
Yeah, and also, it's pretty obviously not canon because everything Megamind learned about villainy was from the prison, not from Machiavellian.
Yeah.
God, that guy was so ugly.
Yeah, so I personally think that experience goes to Bob.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe not definitely, but if at a minimum it would be a slight amount of experience edge, because he just fought a wider variety of villains. He fights people who are stronger than him, and Metroman has more experience with his abilities because he's been using them all his life. Yada.
Yeah.
Then we have attack potency and destructive capabilities.
Mr. Incredible, because of the hypershock scaling.
Yes, that we've already essentially covered it in durability. I think we accidentally already went through the whole attack potency thing, but we can discuss destructive capabilities. I think Metroman could probably do it faster due to his greater travel speed. But destructive capabilities is how much you within a certain amount of time. I still would give it to Bob because, he essentially Oh God, sorry. Sorry, I lost what I was going to say. Um. Oh yes. He would scale to hypershock. It's earthquake punching. When you're punching
Yes.
down, and creating an earthquake has a lot of destructive capabilities, doesn't it? Like, have you seen the amount of damage an earthquake can do?
Yeah, it wipes out cities.
Yeah, it's sad, but it's truth, unfortunately.
And basically, in the super files, Bob is stated to have has basically stated to have maximum strength and maximum durability, which is higher than hypershock.
Yes. Also, point out invulnerability. Mr. Incredible's invulnerability is higher than Hypershock's.
Yeah.
I know his power type is lower, but that's just power type. That's only abilities. That doesn't really
No,
say much.
I've actually met a lot of people say, "Oh, Mr. Incredible doesn't scale higher than hypershock because power type." I'm actually going to debunk this. The power type isn't their power in general; it's basically their ability.
Exactly.
The reason why Hypershock's power type is higher than Bob's is because Hypershock has the ability to cause seismic wave generation and cause earthquakes, while Bob only has super strength and indestructibility. Obviously, causing seismic destructions is higher than just having super strength.
Also, can't Hypershock kind of fly with his jetpack?
Yeah, he has a jetpack.
Yeah.
He has the faster power.
There you go. Oh, my cat's sleeping on the bed.
And he's also an alcoholic. That's a superpower.
Yeah. Yeah, if you guys haven't, check out the Incredible Super Files. They are genuinely really entertaining. Everyone feels like an actual character.
All right, next category. I'm guessing.
Yes, final category. Well, felt both fast and slow. The final we have hacks. Basically, the counters that the characters have.
I will argue that Mr. Incredible gets this.
Yes, in terms of like what abilities they have to counter each other, I'd give it to Mr. Incredible. Metroman has better abilities, yes, but that doesn't mean that he has better hacks.
But the thing with hacks, my definition of it is that it's basically what you said. If you have a feat, ability, weapon, or equipment that counteracts a character. So say we do Wonder Woman versus Superman. Wonder Woman will get hacks over Superman because she uses magic weapons, and magic is a known thing that Superman is vulnerable to. Yeah. So she'll get hacks.
Yeah, what all Superman can do is punch her hard.
Yes. The reason why I say Mr. Incredible gets hacks over Metroman, because Metroman's two main abilities that we've seen are laser eyes and his super speed. Mr. Incredible counteracts both of these because of his reaction speed, giving him hacks.
So can you say it again, please? Your mic glitched out a bit there.
So basically, Metroman's only two main abilities are his super speed and his laser eyes.
Yeah.
And Mr. Incredible counters both of these with his reaction speed.
Yes. And also
he will dodge the lasers, and he will also tag Metroman.
Yes, and also there's the danger sense I was telling you about.
Yes.
Yes. So the danger sense would definitely help.
Also, the danger sense is actually shown in the movie at the start. So when he saves the suicide jumper from the building, from the fall, and he smashes into the bank, he senses Bon Voyage robbing the bank before he even knows he's there.
Yeah, he realizes something's wrong.
So he has obviously some spatial awareness.
Yeah, he doesn't essentially know what's happening, but he knows something is wrong.
And he knows exactly what wall to go to too. Which is the wall that blows up.
Oh, it was your mic again. You can tell it's my first time.
No, you're good, man. No, but the wall that blows up is the wall he goes to because he senses that there's something wrong.
Yes, exactly. All right. So, is there anything else you want to mention about hacks, or is that it?
You could argue Metroman gets hacks
via his
because of flight. But again,
Yes.
it doesn't really counteract anything Bob has because
Bob is also
Bob
instead.
will just punch him. And he's also
Yeah, Bob could just
incredibly agile.
yeah. I was about to mention that he's incredibly agile and he could just jump up and punch Metroman. Plus, also another thing I want to point out before we determine a winner. Metroman that would likely not use his super speed. He only really used it because he wanted to rethink his life. But in a fight, he would likely underestimate Mr. Incredible and not use it because Metroman's not really a killer, is he? I don't think Metroman would look at a man in tights, think he's not fast enough to attack him normally, and then immediately use the super speed. Even if you want to argue that he starts out immediately, once again, reactions, danger awareness, etc.
Like Mr. Incredible is going to grab him and he's going to slam him on the ground.
That's what you said to me.
Yeah, and the thing that people think that Metroman would speed blitz, but he doesn't.
Yes, and also there's a point that you made that I can't remember. No, well, it doesn't matter. Anyway, so now we're going to put on the video clip of 30-second countdown timer. We discuss the winner. No, just kidding. We already know who's winning, don't we?
Yes, we do. Mr. Incredible.
Yeah. In conclusion, Metroman's only real edge is travel speed, abilities, and maybe hacks if you want to be really generous.
Yes.
Mr. Incredible takes strength, durability, IQ, skills, counters, experience, attack frenzy, destructive capability, a better writing, greater character arc, sane fanboys. Anyway.
And not being a pussy and running away from a fight because
Mr. Incredible says Diego. What?
I was going to say also Mr. Incredible takes the point of not being a pussy.
Takes the point of what?
Of not being a pussy.
That's fair.
Metroman's a big pussy, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sad."
Yes, or Mr. Incredible has actually things to be sad about. Yeah, something I want to point out. I understand the metaphor the Metroman stands for, but it's essentially him leaving while in mid-fight with Megamind. That's like having a firefighter who was fighting a fire one day and goes, I don't want to be a firefighter anymore, dropping the hose and then just walking off.
That's right.
It sounds stupid, doesn't it?
And also, Megamind actively went to Metroman and said, "Look, there's a dude with your powers, and he's gonna, nuke the city. Can you help us?"
And he says, "No,
nah, I'm retired, brother.
No, I'm retired. I'm not gonna help you because
I want to have my sandwiches and my ice water. I want to have sandwiches and ice water, thanks."
Oh, your mic went. Your mic went again.
Well, yeah. Anyway, so the winner is
Mr. Incredible. Originally I thought low mid difficulty, but I'm just gonna say low diff. Would you agree with that?
I would. Well, of course I would, but
Yeah, bias.
But yes, low diff sounds good.
So in conclusion, Mr. Incredible says Diego battles waifu. I mean Metroman.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Well, it was very fun having you, Multi.
Oh, thanks, man. It was good. It was very nice coming on this draft. I needed to do something else other than just edit. I needed to talk,
Yeah, actually have a conversation. Yeah, we might do this sometime in the future, but probably not anytime too soon. He's got work. I've got school. I've still got things I need to do.
Well, it would be nice if you ever have another edit idea. Just hit me up, and I'll be happy.
I'll hit you up, and we'll do it again. Not really sure what we're going to do next. Maybe another Metroman building, but we'll see.
Cool.
All right, well,
all right, man.
Right, well, I'm reaching 40 minutes. I've got some friends I need to head off to, and I'll see you later.
See you later, man.
All right, bye, guys. Thanks for stopping by on the stream. Bye.